Alrighty. Hello people of YouTube, it's Deephack here, and welcome to the Deephack stream. I hope you guys enjoyed that latest tutorial video on air-to-air gunnery. I didn't make too much of a mess of it, hopefully, and that's a demonstration of how to do it with the radar and without the radar, doing it a little bit old school. There are actually some other backup gun sights that are usable in the F-16 as well. I don't know which ones are actually simulated as yet, so I might demonstrate those at some point as well. Welcome Byron, welcome to the stream, sir. So for next week's video I'm going to be demonstrating automatic handoff from the targeting pod to the Maverick. So that's the next tutorial video coming up, and in the one after that I'm going to demonstrate the JSO now that that's been added, or will be added by the time the next open beta comes around. So very exciting stuff. Gunfights can be crazy, says Tog. Yes, they can. Yeah, that's the next two videos that are coming up for the F-16. I'm not indeed a pre-recording. This is Deephack live. Welcome Dave, and welcome Mark S. I can actually respond to your chat messages, so you know that I'm real. I'm not an AI, or a pre-recording, or Google. Yes, I'm for real. So, yes, like I said, next two videos are already planned, and we'll see how those go. After that, I'm beginning my tutorial series on the JF-17 Thunder. So that's going to be a bit of fun. That'll be the next thing coming up. If you guys have got any questions or any comments that you want to make about the tutorial series so far, please go ahead in the chat. There's actually not that much news this week, and sadly dotChuckles is not available this week to join us for the DCS news, but on the upside there's barely anything to talk about, because we're now pretty much in the middle of European vacation time. Not very much is going on. Am I really real? We demand a Turing test. Meat popsicle. Robots, right? Yes. I am all of the above. I'm hopefully not a meat popsicle, but I'm definitely a meat something. I'm a skeleton wearing meat armor. That's what I really am. Being steered by a lump of grey matter. On to the DCS news for this week, what little we do have. Of course, as always, we do have the DCS newsletter, the Eagle Dynamics newsletter, telling us about all the wonderful things that are going on in the world of DCS. And they've got a couple of items that they call out. DCS Normandy is receiving enhancements to airfields, buildings, forests and fields. Frame rate improvements, and the level of detail for objects has also been optimised. We're planning for these updates to be included in the next open beta. As I recall, Normandy is the first map that Ugra Media came out with, and it's really cool to see them continuing to develop their previous map after showing us all the wondrous things they can do with Syria. I'm only 90% water. You'd want the hard matter on the outside really if you have the choice, but yeah, well that's true, Car, that's true. Yeah, we can't all be... what is it again when you have your bones on the outside? That's my mind goes blank. Oh well, I'm sure chat will correct me. Also, in the newsletter, they're calling out progress on the KA-50 Black Shark 3. Exciting with fine detail, 3D design work on the Klimov, blah 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 blah, turboshaft engines, gearbox rotor systems. Check out the development screenshots. We hope you'll be impressed. Black Shark 3 is a funny one. Exoskeleton, thank you chat, thank you. Of course it's an exoskeleton, and we have endoskeletons. Yeah, KA-50 Black Shark 3. This is an interesting one because it's been kind of on and then off and then on again, and I don't really know exactly what the deal is. I know at one stage the Russian government was displeased that they were working on this, but as I understand it, we are at the very least getting an updated cockpit. We're maybe getting the missile approach warning system and the air-to-air missiles on the extra pylons and the wingtips. That's the last I heard anyway. So very hopeful. Black Shark, of course, being the first DCS module, came out all the way back in 2008, I think, or maybe earlier, I can't even remember. Long time ago, and of course we have had the Black Shark 2 in the meantime. So this is going to be really cool. They're also announcing a new campaign that's came out, The Rise of the Persian Lion. That sounds interesting. And this one, I'm actually very excited about this one. It's today, we've already missed it, but this Saturday, 17th of June, tune in for a feast of flying with the virtual Air Tattoo Air Show by the Royal Air Force Charitable Trust Enterprises. And that's a mouthful if ever there were. 6 hours of free action will stream live on social media. Virtual flying aces are going to perform exhilarating aerobatic displays with precision accuracy. There should be a comma. Or an and. But anyway, with precision accuracy, with accuracy precision, with precision and accuracy. It sounds like the Spanish Inquisition. Take a look at the all-new virtual air tattoo. And if you're interested, visit airtattoo.com/virtual. This is run by the Royal Air Force Charitable Trust. Looks really, really cool. They've got a link right here on the page where you can click and go straight to the full recording of the session. I'm not going to play that right now, but I can imagine this would have been really, really cool and very much watching, and I am going to watch it later. I didn't see it live, sadly. It's a niche bird. Glad they gave us the hind finally. Yes, yeah, they tried to adjective a noun. Yes, that is very true, Storm. Very, very true. So yeah, and then we've got some further information about Normandy here. Yeah, they're working on a bunch of stuff. Colour splat map? What the hell is splat map textures? That's obviously a technical term that I don't recognise. For fields and buildings, airfield textures, multiple bugs, blah 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 blah. Lots of cool improvements. And then we get some pictures of the KA-50. Look at this. This is what a rotor system looks like. I gotta say that when the Black Shark first came out, I was really struck by the level of detail in the rotor system. As you moved the controls, everything kind of worked and moved in a very realistic fashion. Put the link in the show notes. Yes, I will do that, Stevie B. I'll put the link in the show notes. Boop. Actually, I'll put the link in... No. I'll put the link in the... No, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. So indecisive. So anyway, we've got some nice pictures of the Black Shark 3 there. Yeah, Rise of the Persian Lion. This is an F-18C Hornet campaign. So that's something cool that's came out recently. And that's it. There's not really that much going on in the news this week. I picked out a couple more little bits and bobs though. Yeah, counter-rotating. Very, very cool. This week we did have an update to the stable version. So the stable version of DCS is now up to date with the open beta. That means that stable has Hind and Marianas Islands. I always have to be very careful about how I say that because I always want to say Marinara. And there's the F-14A Fear the Bones campaign. That's also now available to people running DCS stable. And we are apparently getting an open beta update this month in July, which is going to have some additions for the F-16, most notably the JSOW, which we already talked about last week, and Mr. Wagner did demonstrate. Matt Wagner actually also posted in the forums this week saying that he's going to be releasing a video next week, I think he said, where he's going to go over a bunch of small updates that are coming to the F-16. He described them as a bunch of housekeeping stuff. So I would imagine that there's some little systems tweaks and perhaps some symbology tweaks. So that's going to be cool. And then the other thing that I've got for this week is after the post that Razbam made last week talking about the fact that they're not going to be removing the AGM-65F infrared Maverick. They're now talking about what they are going to be doing to the Mavericks. There is going to be a whole bunch of procedural changes to the way the Mavericks are implemented. As always with the Harrier, the avionics suite is bloody complex and some things are not particularly well integrated, but to my mind that just makes the thing more charming. I do really, really like the Harrier, and I like that Razbam are going into this level of detail where they're talking about things that don't really work very well in the real aircraft, and they're simulating them just the way they are in real life. So, yeah, there's a bunch of limitations. One of the most important things is Maverick video will not be it won't be possible to display Maverick video at the same time as targeting pod video. And this is apparently a real-life limitation of the aircraft. We've had the ability to do this so far, but the real one can't do it. Whenever the T-pod is active, Maverick video will replace the T-pod, or targeting pod. And then there's also a bunch of limitations with regards to the E2 version of the Laser Maverick. It will be possible to make use of the Laser Maverick with the targeting pod up, but there's a certain delay. You can turn on the laser uncage the laser Maverick, and then you get something like 15 seconds in which to do your thing, and then the targeting pod will reappear, even if you haven't finished doing what you were trying to do at the time. There's also, they talk about this really interesting thing that I'd never heard of. It is possible when self-lasing with the targeting pod for the E2 seeker to lock on to the targeting pod rather than the laser spot that it's emitting. This is a really, really interesting thing that I had never heard of, and that's kind of cool that they're simulating that. So you have to be careful when the targeting pod is on the centerline station, not to accidentally lock your Maverick on yourself. Yeah, that sounds like a bad thing. So yeah, I won't go through all the detail of this forum post. They have a whole bunch of stuff, and somebody really helpfully provides some like flowcharts basically further down for how all of this works. Bloody complicated, but I'm sure that at some point we're going to get the documentation from Baltic Dragon and it will all be clear, and maybe the Chucks guide will also reflect these changes at some point. Yeah, that is pretty much it for this week. I don't have any more news for you fine people, sadly. So please, as always, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and comment. I always say this. It's it's a really big help to me. It's a really big help to the channel. The support from you guys has been really, really overwhelming. The channel has been growing so much this year. So thank you so much to everybody who watches and who does those things. It's super good. Keep in mind that the Virtual Air Force is recruiting. I have a link to the Discord in the show notes. Everybody is welcome. Oh my, Frantic Stone Tornado reveal. Well, thank you very much, sir. That's very kind of you to contribute to the channel in that fashion. But it's not going to be a bloody tornado. Please join the Virtual Air Force if you have an interest in flying with a squadron. We're always looking for more people. dotChuckles, like I said, sadly is not here this week, but please support him. His Twitch channel is linked in the show notes, and he deserves your support. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I'm streaming often on Mondays, playing Escape from Tarkov. Sometimes I stream in between times. Every Saturday, as today, we have a tutorial video, with next week's one being the handoff mode of the Maverick in the F-16, and then it's always followed by DCS news, which is this stream you're watching right now, but there'll be another one next week, and there was one last week and the week before that, but there's always going to be one. So there you go. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed that. Please be safe, fly safe, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta.